All right, welcome to session 66. So, recently, after tying up loose ends in Cephesus and Catanese, you decided to return to the steeps to continue your journey. While at the steeps, you talked to the Carrig, learned a bit about Siphon and Ermenig, and about the demon that you may have released. While there, you discovered the entrance to Ermenig and the boat. On the boat, you found the bottom was made of iron, the top made of wood, and so you saw it bobbing up and down in the air, upside down, but you were able to retrieve it, pull it to shore, and turn it over. And as we left last session, everybody had piled into the boat and sailed off to Armenig. So let me go ahead and take you to the map. Before I take you to the map, one question is, are you guys still planning to sail into Ermenig, or are you planning to, kind of turn around and go back where you still have the chance? I mainly ask
I mean,
in case of long rest things or anything like that. I want to make sure you're actually doing this before we switch you to the map.
Actually, now
we
that you
really
say that,
should long rest. We really should.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
was going to go ahead and mention that now that you say that, we do have an appointment to meet some adventurers next to a Triton cave of some sort in 4 days. I mean, if this is definitely not a short expedition, do we do it now?
Well, you
We
don't know
don't
how
know.
long the expedition itself is, but I did hear rumblings of people wondering if they should take a long rest first.
Yeah, I
I
think we
think
should
we
learn that.
should.
All right.
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, let's see.
Can we have, like, I guess, someone rotate on watch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Because we are still in a hostile environment, per se.
I can ritual cast us a tiny hut if we really want to take a rest right now.
We should. We should take a rest. We've got a spider rope, and we can just tie it to something. It won't go nowhere.
Well, we got plenty of
sounds good.
regular rope too, I believe.
All right. So, okay, fair enough. So, what we'll go ahead and do. Turns out when I made the boat large enough for everybody to fit, it was a bit bigger than the boat I had on the map. So, this is closer to the actual size of the boat. All right. So,
Gotcha.
we'll say that you've returned to deal with your tiny hut. Okay. So the plan is to take a long rest.
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you go to take your rest, and after 8 hours will pass, of course. Oh, there it is. And that'll put it at night. At nighttime, about 9 o'clock at night. Do you just want to? Is that okay, or do you actually want to? Um, wait until a specific time.
Um, I don't mind if we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off. I mean, there's no reason waiting even more hours. It's
Fair
not
enough.
How do we even know what time it is?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's nine
Oh,
nine
that's a
ten
fair
p.m.
point. You knew what time it was when you entered the cave, so it wouldn't be too hard to
That's fair.
guesstimate. Um, fair enough. I haven't keep showing you
Yeah.
guys the times, so we'll just say it's one of your godling abilities.
Understandable.
All right, fair enough. You take your long rest. Make sure everybody takes their long rest features, and once that completes, what do you do? or I should first say, is there anything you say you do or talk about during as you're setting up for your long rest and grabbing a meal and whatnot?
Mm,
Any-
I don't think so. At least I don't.
All right.
Uh,
Okay.
do we know what to expect once we reach the other side?
Not really. No.
No, nothing in those books you have been scouring over mention anything?
Actually, there are some things here. Let me check. Um, let's see. If we were to take the other way, the okay, let me pull out the map. I have a lot to reference. If we were to have taken the cleft caves that are supposed to be a way down to let me read this. Okay. So
Judge, as you're
there's a
going
gate to
through all
5
that,
worlds.
go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Sure, sure. This is what I should be good at.
All right. So with your 23, one of the things you realize suddenly is that it is true that the cleft the basically gives you a way to get down from basically the top of a mountain to Erminig. But one of the things you also remember is that Siphon is in the center of Erminig. So,
Yeah.
which means that regardless of which route you take, you're going to have to deal with the memory of the sea.
Yeah, that I was figuring. Well, wait a second. Well, no, because yeah, okay. It's just yeah, I have a lot to read. You have several scrolls. I'm trying to switch back and forth between them, but
Yeah, fair enough. I'm just
yes,
saying
either
that's something your character would have realized because yeah, there is another path down there. There's multiple paths, but no matter which path you take, you have to deal with the memory of the sea to get to the center where Typhoon is.
okay. Well, right. So we do not know much about Ermanig, except for having to deal with the sea. But the tower we are searching for is in the center of the city. I believe I am having the key already, but between here and there, I'm not finding much information. Hmm. All right. Now, it might not be just Erminig down here. Apparently, at some point, there is a way to contact or connect to 5 different worlds. So we might be expecting all sorts of strange and bizarre creatures.
Hmm.
But aside from vague references, there are no specific. It is not like there is a map I have. No, I do not yet have that much information about Erminig.
All right, so the time passes. You've taken your long rests. So what do you do next?
And you said poor old Gavel's not going to be able to cross into the water. I have to dismiss
Yeah,
him. Right?
Gavel. If you entered the boat, Gavel's already gone because you guys did enter the boat and then you changed your mind,
Okay.
decided to come back to do the long rest. So Gavel's gone already.
Okay.
That's why I got rid of the elemental form as well, since Cyclona did the same thing.
All right. Well, okay. If our rest is over, we've all taken some watches and everybody's got some appropriate sleep.
All right, so
Um.
as you guys pile into the boat, You do know that the oars are heavy, and it'll take a decent strength to maneuver the boat. You can have up to 2 people manning the oars. So, which 2 people are going to do that?
I think probably our strongest. Yes.
I would
As I get
assume.
into Okay. As I get into the boat and notice that the bottom is iron, can I make any evaluation or assertion of it? I'm looking with an arcane eye. Is this specially enchanted, or is it just the properties of metal or specific metals?
That's a good question. One thing that does pop into your memory is that earlier in this cave there were those iron bars. You guys were able to squeeze past them, but they were there for some reason or another. Um, the other thing you notice is that as you look around at you know, if you look inside, you'll see like small little eyeless fish and that kind of thing swimming around as if there's water there. Uh, so there's definitely some other large-scale magic going on um, related to this sea and its memory. So you think it may even just be certain objects or the age of objects or something like that. But the iron itself doesn't look special in the sense that if you were to take it elsewhere, you know, outside of Erminig, and you don't think it'll be valuable for anything. Um, it's almost like the iron remembers the sea.
Right. Just out of curiosity.
I heard just out of curiosity than nothing.
Same.
Sorry. I would like to take a small piece of iron out of my backpack and just kind of push it down into where I think water should be right here.
It just, yeah, it's just air there. You don't feel any resistance at all.
Hmm. But that's what the rest of this boat is using, iron, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely another component that you're currently still missing.
Okay. Shall we get aboard?
All right. So I'm assuming everybody else is getting in the boats. Oh yeah, who's the
Yes.
two who are going to row?
Um, I would assume not me because I have a strength of 11.
What I can do is, if I think Conglomerate had decided to do that before, but he's not here. What I can do is for any group rowing rolls, I can roll for him if that's what you guys want to do. Do you want him to row with Cyclonin? I assume.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cyclonin, Judge or Darcy. What do you guys think?
I think Conglomerate and Cyclonin are good choices for good, strong rowers.
I couldn't hear you.
I think Conglomerate and Cyclonin are good choices for good, strong rowers.
Well, Conglomerate then will get in the middle with the assumption that Cyclonin would probably be right in front of him or beside him or whatever you want to think of it. I went ahead and set it up so everybody can kind of be, you know, in front of each other. That's why the boat's a little bit oversized, just to make visualizing a little easier.
It's also good if you want to put, the two rowers next to each other.
All right. So, is there anything else you do before you cast off, besides leave Darcy behind? I'm just kidding.
I can't think of anything. Anybody? Are we forgetting?
We can't really hear you, Judge.
All right, one second.
I'm sorry, my roommate was having a whole ass conversation at me, and I was just like, I'm sure you don't care to hear this.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
fair.
She should be done though.
Okay. All right. There's nothing else you do to cast off, so so you cast off into the memory of the sea. I'm assuming that you're currently pointed to the north, so I'm assuming that's the direction you want to go.
Can I try and do our God sense to see if there's any places of power or objects of power off in the direction we expect to be heading?
Well, you can definitely feel something, but the problem is that well, number one, Ermanig feels very different as it is. Just having crossed into the onto the sea here, so you kind of get that sensation like I was talking about before of you know where you got that vision of drowning and everything. Kind of that sense of death that still hangs in the air. As far as your divine sense, it has a limited range, and unfortunately, any sort of objects that it might work on are far out of that range
Okay.
right now.
All right. In that case, perhaps then intuition or insight, probably insight check. If I could make an insight check, do we want to veer to the left or veer to the right? We really don't know where to go.
Fair enough. So instead of an insight check, I'll let you make a history check because you guys did get a little bit of information as far as that goes.
Yeah, and maybe me as a player, I'm just missing the information that my
Yeah, that's
character
fine.
has.
So that's what the check's for. Yeah, fair enough. All right. So at the 17, you learn that there is an iron boat nearby. You're already on it. You sail on the memory of the sea to the river Rikon and the Twin Cascades. Away from the Mamie, if you see the Franz or the Hataskin, you have gone too far. Rising from the sea, sharp ridges atop the city of Siphun. So those are things that you were told by the Carrig. The other thing is that you do know that Siphun is in the center of the of Ermanig, and the impression that you got is that you are slightly off center. So hold on. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Sorry if you guys see a map. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to find my map. Come on, why are you taking so long? There it is. Yeah. So the impression that that you've gotten before, as far as where the locations of the entrances to Ermanig are and where Siphun is that you suspect that Siphun is in the center, and you are slightly you're slightly east of that center. So you suspect that you'd probably want to be heading northwest, but mostly north.
Okay. Okay. So that's where we shall head off, to the northwest. North by northwest.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take you to another map. So as you kick off, your boat starts to move away from the steeps, and once you get far enough, you notice that somebody has a lantern on, right? So Judge,
Yeah.
you have your lantern on. You notice that once the light reaches its 120 feet or whatever it is, outside of that is blackness. As you go, you can notice that the floor the quote unquote seabed falls away, and it's almost like you're sailing in this kind of bubble of light. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to a map. All right. So you begin to sail, and your goal is to head north by northeast. And as you continue, the reality is that even the floor seabed you see below here would fall away into darkness. And every once in a while, you might see a bit of rock sticking up, but not very often. So it becomes difficult to navigate, especially as you go further. You notice that they're starting to become currents that are affecting things. So what I'm going to have you guys do then is, Cyclonin, you're the chief rower, correct?
I guess.
All right. Are you also the one trying to navigate?
I could be trying to navigate. I thought
Okay.
that would help.
All right. So what I'm going to have you guys do then is, you.
So I'm not doing anything till after I've lashed myself to this boat.
Sorry. Say that one more time.
Said I'm not doing anything until I've lashed myself to this boat.
Okay. So how do you do that?
Alright. I take my rope and tie myself to the boat. I'm not sure what loops I have, but I do see the ones for the oars. Those look like good spots. So I'm going to do 2 independent mounting points. Probably 1 on each of those loops. And make sure I'm tied to it so that I can't fall very far if I fall out of this boat.
Fair enough. All right. So what I'll have Cyclonin do and Conglomerate do is make a strength check, combined strength check, to see how well they are. How good they are at kind of working the oars and fighting against the currents to move forward. And with the 46, they're doing quite well actually, and they are not only keeping on course, but they are moving at a decent clip. So in the meantime, Judge, you are navigating, so you're trying to make sure everybody's moving in a straight line, going the direction you want. So go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okay. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. That was nature, not survival.
Yep, fair enough. So just go ahead and reroll. Okay, so with an 11, you do, you do manage to navigate, and we'll see what happens. So, D8, private. All right, so you're off by. Oh wait, that's supposed to be a D4. Sorry. So yeah, okay. All right, so you continue to sail for an hour, and as you sail, you you just see this blackness. You can vaguely make out shapes in the distance. You've traveled for an hour in what you think is the correct direction. So after that hour, what do you do, if anything?
How confident am I of my navigation so far?
Oh, how well you're on course? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean,
you can go ahead and
and
give.
I have an hour. I was going to say, I have an hour, and I do have all these extra scrolls and everything about Ermanig. Would an investigation, double-checking all the information I have on my scrolls, help with this?
That's fair. Okay, I will say that you're accessing all the information you have, so I'll give you advantage to go ahead and give me a survival check, and this will tell you how accurate you think you've been. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and move you. Or I'm going to go ahead and figure out.
Given given how the navigation's gone so far, I'm kind of internally skeptical and going to kind of question where we're going.
All right, so with your 17, you think that you're more or less on target, but you think you've overcorrected, and you're probably going further west than you intended.
All right. I would like to try and correct for that.
Okay, and Cyclonin, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I said I was second guessing the initial navigation.
Do you say anything out loud about that?
Are you sure you'll know where we are going? This does not feel quite right.
It'll be fine.
Well, being a bit critical, I'm now going to want to double check what I've done, go through all my papers again with a really good investigation just to make sure I'm absolutely 100%. Feeling really, really dumb if Cyclonin's actually correct. So I want to make absolutely sure. I mean, I don't know what that would entail if I do another check of something, but yeah, and I now want to triple check my work and go back over all of these scrolls to see if there's anything else I can glean or wait a second. Maybe. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
So does that mean that you want to spend extra time doing that? Maybe stop rowing and then do that for a while, because that'll take you more time.
No, I'm going to stop
Yes.
rowing.
Okay.
Yes, actually, yeah. It's like, go ahead and stop rowing. I will double checking this, and so I will.
Okay. Go ahead and give
Oh,
me an
hey,
investigation check then.
my chess set is magnetized because it's a travel chess set, so you don't lose the pieces.
It is.
Is it knowledge in this world to be able to just make a quick compass with a sewing needle and a magnet? Or is that not something that's knowledge in this world?
Probably not, but even if that did work, you're pretty sure in Erminig that compass would just spin in circles or something.
But that spinning in circles would tell us we're heading in the right direction. Okay.
No, I
In that
meant
case,
like
what
you're not
check
moving
did
at
you
all,
want
and it would still be spinning in circles.
Yeah.
In other words,
Okay.
there's no, a compass like that wouldn't work anyway. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. No problem. Okay, what check did you want me to make, sir?
Just investigation's fine.
Or to put it another way, Erminig is probably not a spinning magnetic cord sphere.
All right, so yeah, with the 13, you don't find anything new. So you think that you may have gone a bit more west than you were intending. You think that you might be able to verify that because if it's true, then if you go south, you can probably run into the wall again, but that would take a while.
I would like to do the original course correction that I had figured for going slightly too far west, and I think we'll continue with that. We don't need to backtrack all the way to the south.
Okay, fair enough. So in that case, as you try to direct the rowing, assuming Cyclone is willing to do that, you can give me another survival check. I'm going to go ahead and give you advantage because you've done all this investigation work. All right. You feel like you did a little bit better this time. Um, you so you're a little bit more confident in your work. Cyclonin and Conglomerate, you can go ahead and give me another strength check to see how the rowing goes. All right. So with a 23, it isn't. You do.
You're rolling secretly again, by the way.
Sorry, say that one more time.
You're rolling secretly again, by the way.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. So for Conglomerate, I rolled a d20 plus his bonus. He got a 13 for a total of 33. Oh, I actually miscalculated that. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, you are able to move or moving your maximum speed. So all right. So you head more in a more northerly direction for another hour, and near the end of that hour, you you notice that there's suddenly a kind of a warm upwelling up ahead, and you notice that this upwelling seems to come from out of the water, or where the water would be anyway, and a bunch of white crabs launch into the air, and several of them land in the boat. Go ahead
Oh,
and place them in there. So yeah, these crabs kind of land in the boat in various places, and they start crawling around. Darcy, one of them kind of lands in your lap and starts climbing up your front side. So what do you guys do?
I hold. I'm not going to start throwing them off or anything like that. I want to wait to see if they're aggressive or intelligent, maybe. I'm observing. Is there anything about these that I might know?
All
No,
right, so
probably
as they
not.
crawl around, the first thing you notice is they're rather large for crabs. They're about the size of a dog, a medium-sized dog. So that crab in the lap is actually pretty heavy. But they're not doing anything overly aggressive. They just seem to be moving around and exploring. One of the crabs near Gizzard winds up uh, falling off the boat and slowly sinking as if there's water below. But the rest of them are kind of just crawling around the boat. You actually suspect they're looking for debris, food, that kind of thing.
I would talk to Conglomerate, but in this particular case, Cyclonin, do you suppose these things might be intelligent enough to know where land is, so to speak, in this void of an environment?
I don't know. I do not imagine land would be especially important for them, and we have no way to talk to them that I am aware of.
Actually, I would think we do. Through the mind. Your telepathy? If you could be able to, or if not, I do not know. If you're talking, you're muted. I still cannot hear you at all, David, if you're talking.
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, while Dave's thinking, is anybody else doing anything?
Um, well, you said it looked like they were looking for food. I suppose I can pull out a small piece of like jerky from my ration and just kind of hold it out to this one. You know, just a little piece because I don't have a whole lot. But see if he takes it.
All right. As you do so, it kind of crawls and kind of jumps off of Darcy and goes over to the food and starts eating it.
Okay.
Telepathically, I'm gonna ask the crab, "What is your opinion of the meal?"
If there's a crab on her, then she's obviously gonna knock it off of her.
Okay. Fair enough. So apparently, Judge, that's why it came for the food because Darcy knocked it off in your direction.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Cyclona, you speak telepathically, but you don't get any responses.
Surprised to find out that they are crabs.
Hmm.
The one that you gave food to crawls over the side and kind of jumps off. You still have several kind of crawling around inside the boat. If you say you just want to move on and ignore them, you can do that, or you can throw them off, or whatever you guys want.
I can think of nothing. Anybody?
No, I'm sure this is a waste of time, but I'm gonna go ahead and cycle through every language I know and ask them what they're looking for.
As you talk to them, they just continue to crawl around. You can see that they seem to be crawling under things and around things, but you get no answer.
They are in fact crabs.
Oh well. This is worth a shot. As I go ahead and take another crab and kind of shoo it over the edge of the boat into the water.
Darcy, the
gonna
one who
look-
has some ability to speak to sea creatures.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Miss Darcy.
I don't know if I can talk to sea creatures. I think it's just
You
with the like fish people. I don't know about actual sea creatures.
Let's see what this thing says. No, which was it? Not the crystal voice, was it? Allows you to speak to any creature or animal.
Ooh, so I can't
no
talk to
matter
sea
the
creatures?
language. So yeah, you can speak to creatures.
Okay. Just gonna look at the crabs. Like, what are you trying to ask the crabs anyway?
Well, we are attempting to find Dermanig, yes, and traveling in a void with no landmarks, no compass, no stars to guide us is not easy. But these being native creatures might at least be aware of the landmass.
So we're just looking for land.
Specifically, Dermanig, the most prominent point of land.
I think you have a lot of faith in crabs to know the difference for them to know the difference between Ermanig and just some sandbank, but okay. Do you know, of a place called Ermanig and if we are headed in the right direction? And she's gonna, like, just ask broadly to all the crabs that are nearby.
They all look at you like you have lobsters coming out of your ears, but and then go back to their hunting around.
Do you know where land is?
One of them kind of hops up and goes to the front, and then he points a claw.
Like he's pointing in the direction?
He's pointing in a direction, yeah. Somewhat or north and slightly west. but you can't see
Crabs live
anything.
for that way. For land.
All
He
right.
doesn't know what Armanig is, so land.
And
That's
then,
as good as we get.
and then afterward, it crawls up to where you're sitting and kind of has one of its claws kind of rub on your leg and look up at you. He's just kind of poking you while looking up at you.
Over Darcy's shoulder, Judge is going to slip a piece of the beef jerky he had out.
I'm just gonna take it from your hand so you're not reaching over me, and I just give it to the crab.
It takes it and then it runs and jumps off the boat.
It's a fair exchange. I wouldn't blame it. I'd want a treat.
If you're talking, Tyler, I can't hear you.
Oh, I wasn't talking.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard voices in the background. Sorry about that. All right, so there's two other crabs on the boat. The crab pointed kind of roughly this direction. So what do you do?
I'm gonna take that direction to heed and go there. Put that into my attempted navigation.
All right, fair enough. You guys going to ignore the crabs still on the boat, or are you going to do anything with them?
Well, if I've got a couple little pieces of beef jerky left from the one piece that I had pulled out, I'll give it to each of them and let them go.
Okay, so eventually they'll eat their jerky and they'll kind of jump off. All right, you travel for another half an hour, and then eventually you come across an area. Sorry, the map's taking a while to load. It's kind of large. Anyway, you come across an area where the currents are acting a bit differently, almost like there's more obstructions to the quote-unquote water. And at this point in time, I think Conglomerate's the only one who could see it. So Conglomerate points over here and tells everybody that he sees a island or something, some sort of stone mass kind of sticking above where the boat is kind of floating, and you can see there's multiple cliffs and such on that island. So what do you guys do?
Haha, get closer to that area.
So is the plan to go over there with the boat, or are you going to keep going forward and explore elsewhere? What's your plan?
I to make towards the land.
Okay, let me turn off the grid for the moment. And alright, so what we'll go ahead and do then is I'll go ahead and move this thing. And I'll go ahead and move you guys. Alright, so as you approach the island that Conglomerate was talking about, if you guys want to, you can jump off the boat. You can move your own tokens from this point.
I would like to make sure that the boat is tied securely to these rocks so it does not float away.
Okay, you tie the boat, and as you do so, you notice something odd about the rocks. You can see that there are these kind of glowing, faintly glowing veins kind of crisscrossing the surface of the rocks. It's not enough to give you any real light, but when you're close enough, you can see that the veins are slightly brighter than the rock around it.
Not these large rocks, but is there a very small rock, just a hand pebble, that
There,
displays the same properties?
no, so there are plenty of smaller rocks and pebbles, as depicted in the graphics, but only these large rocks show these veins.
Hmm. Interesting. Is there a way I can make an Arcana check to deduce what this is?
Sure, you can try. All right, with a 22, you're not sensing anything arcane about them, or if you are, um, you're not.
He can't hear you. He fell out.
Sorry, say it again.
His connection dropped. He can't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right, so as you come around the corner, Cyclonin, or as you approach the corner anyway, you can hear low whispering coming from this direction. You can't make out what's being said. You don't even think that it's a language you know, but it definitely sounds intelligent.
I'm definitely not interested. There are voices or whisperings to the southeast, southwest. Oh, that way.
That way?
Yes.
Anyway, are you back, Judge?
Yeah, sorry about that. I missed
Yes.
what you had said.
So yeah, you made your Arcana check. You got a 22, but either you're not looking for the right things, or you're not getting any arcane sense from it, which is a little odd because it does look like it's glowing a little bit, but either some other process is at work, or there's some piece of knowledge you don't have.
Okay. I'm gonna pull that mask out of my pouch and just hold it on my face and look through it, just out of curiosity.
You do so, but nothing happens.
Uh, didn't think so. Put it back. You do not seem overly enthused about possibly meeting the natives or anything like that. Is there some cause to give you pause?
I'm busy trying to find my missing papers.
Cyclonin, as with your passive perception, you notice that you can't see it due to the cliffs blocking the view, but you can definitely hear distinct sound of flapping coming from this direction. So whatever is flapping up there is must be large. It's not a bat.
Interesting.
It's something larger than that. This cliff here is about 10 feet up, and then whatever is doing the flapping seems to be even higher than that.
It sounds that there is something flying in the memory of the sky in this direction. It's undoubtedly very large.
Interesting. Sounds kind of spooky.
Do you believe it is large moths again?
I believe it is larger than that.
You said we can hear it flapping in this direction?
Cyclonin could. When he points it out, everybody else would probably be able to hear it now that they know what they're listening for. But yeah, there's definitely some multiple things flapping in this direction on top of something. But there's enough stuff blocking your view that you can't actually see it.
If I back up a bit and then try and look at like a 60 or 80 degree angle in this direction, can I see anything taking flight here. I mean, I wouldn't be able to see whatever's on the ground up here, but anything that flies up higher than this.
The flapping stops, but you get the sense that whatever is flapping was actually near or on the ground.
Hmm.
So whatever it was doing, it landed. Is your sense?
Well, it would appear we have this direction and this direction.
Let's go. Let's go north first.
All right.
My instincts tell me north is always best.
Okay. You start heading around the island. You can see over the edge, kind of the island is fairly steeply drops off into the darkness. And as you go around, you can see that there's these fairly steep cliffs here, and then on top of those there are other cliffs. So it's probably possible to walk on top. You can see more of the large stones with the glowing veins over this direction, and the island continues to loop around.
Conglomerate Cyclonin, are you going to come, or do you wish to stay with the boat?
Actually, Conglomerate would probably stay with the boat since he's not here, so I'm going to put him over there. If he shows up later, then I'll let him catch up with the group.
Yeah.
I will stay with the boat.
You too shall stay with the boat, Cyclonin?
Yes.
Darcy, what are you doing?
She would just be more or less following.
I am exploring with Judge.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and move you up to where Judge is then.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, you continue to loop around, and you can see that a bunch of large stones are blocking your vision. And of course, you can see that the island kind of drops off into the sea.
And can we see enough to see that this is like a really large island, or?
You can see what you can see, so you can make that judgment based on based on your own judgment.
Okay. Oh.
All right, so you loop around. You can go ahead and
Wait.
go ahead
Yeah,
and stop.
Okay.
So you can see up ahead a humanoid figure who seems to be standing in front of some sort of cave entrance. Are you guys? How are you guys moving right now?
I was going to be trying to move if at least somewhat stealthily, so I'm not advertising to everybody that I was there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually stealthy.
What about you, Conglomerate, and Darcy? I mean, not Conglomerate. I mean Gizzard.
Yeah, I'm moving somewhat stealthily, but like Judge said, I'm not making a big deal out of it.
Okay, fair enough. And how about
I'm
you,
not trying to
Darcy?
draw attention, but I'm.
She's just being cautious. She's not like sneaking, but moving slow and careful.
Precisely, yeah. Same
All
here.
right, so what I'll go ahead and do is just use your, your not your passive values. So, Judge, your passive stealth is 15, And so the humanoid seems to have noticed you moving around. He can't really see you very well because of the rocks in the way. Although, if you can see him, he can see you to some degree. So he can definitely see the
Yeah.
light, and he can hear you. So
Just
you can see
just out
that.
of curiosity.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just out of curiosity, can I actually discern if this is a male or female? I ask because the token itself on the map looks like a male, but when I hover over it, it's definitely a different female picture.
Oh,
So,
because it's supposed to
what
be a female.
sort of?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me fix that. I hate when it does that. So hold on.
And just so I get an idea of what kind of entity we're going
Yeah,
to be
no,
walking up
that's
to.
not a problem. It was supposed to be. It didn't update. So there we go. So let me fix it for you. That's annoying.
Oh, yep, that's it. Okay, now the pictures match.
Now it matches? Alright, fantastic. Anyway, she is looking your direction. She's holding a spear vertically, and she's just kind of staring your direction, but steps closer to the cave. She does not, but she does not do anything else yet. So what do you do?
Glancing over to Darcy and Gizzard, it's well, shall we approach in a friendly fashion and see if she is also friendly?
I think
If
so.
she is not, okay.
Nothing else to do.
Judge will go ahead and step around the rocks here so he's like not obscured in any way, and just hold up one hand and say, "Hail."
Okay, as you approach, there's a few things you notice. The first thing that's very obvious is she's clearly albino. She has no skin pigment at all. The next thing you notice is that her limbs are skinny, and she seems to have a very fragile appearance. Although the way she stands with her weapon, you suspect that appearances can be deceiving. And the third thing you notice is that she is wearing this kind of bleached leather garments. That's kind of the armor she's wearing. But there's something odd about the leather. You're not quite sure what, but it is definitely different than different looking than other leather armor you've seen. And as you go to approach, you hear her speak. But as she does so, halalaka, you don't understand.
I turn back and look at Darcy and it's like, "Can you speak with her? I do not understand this."
I can speak to animals. She is a person. I do
Actually, I
not
thought you
have
could-
comprehension of all languages.
Actually, I thought your crystal voice allowed you to communicate telepathically with anybody.
Yeah, but I don't know, will they understand me?
So yeah, the crystal voice does allow you to chime and make the other person understand you, even if you don't know the language. But that doesn't mean you'll understand the response.
Ah, okay.
Well, I can always try.
All right.
She's gonna chime in that individual's brain. Hello. We mean no harm. We are simply travelers.
Okay, she looks at you, and you notice, Darcy, that she looks directly at you, even though you didn't say anything. You just used your telepathy. And as she does so, you notice that her eyes glow ever so slightly blue for a moment, and then she points her spear at you, and then atakayata, and she points kind of this direction, clearly gesturing away from the cave entrance.
Well, I'm gonna chime back. I am sorry, we do not understand your language. I am only able to speak to you. I cannot understand your reply.
She nods, and then she points at the cave, and then points at you, and then you can tell she starts pretending like she's stabbing the ground, and then she picks up a rock and throws it this direction, and just kind of gestures away.
I think
Yeah,
that's pretty
obviously.
clear. She wants us to bugger off, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wants us
probably
not
wise
to,
we do.
probably just wants us not to approach or enter the cave. Aye, this we will do. Judge will very slowly and non-aggressively walk over here.
Her eyes follow
And
you the
then-
whole time. You can tell she's holding her spear at ready, but she doesn't do anything else.
Yep, and Judge's got his hands up. He's just, tiptoeing. Like, we understand. All right. It was very nice meeting you. Goodbye, strange lady.
Okay, so Judge goes past. She doesn't stop him. Darcy and Gizzard, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna
Well,
follow
might
Judge.
as well follow the leader.
All right, so once you guys get up to about here, go ahead and stop for a second. Back at the boat, Cyclonin, you notice a creature kind of fly by. So you notice it looks like it's a large creature. So it's it almost looks like a small dragon, except that it's more worm-like, and you notice that it almost looks like a flying worm actually, and it's kind of this light white color, and it seems to be flying around looking for something, and you notice that. As it's going through, kind of near the shoreline, it notices one of those white crabs that had jumped into the boat before, and it dives down and grabs the crab, and then flies back over to where it started from. So what do you do, if anything?
Not much anything really.
Okay. Returning to the main group. All right, Judge, you've kind of been heading around the cliff, kind of heading around the island. You see more of the strange rocks. So what do you do?
Well, I guess we just keep going. We have found nothing of value yet. We know really what we're looking for. Should I make a history check? Am I missing something that we've already had written down? Let me check.
So what are you trying to figure out?
Just trying to remember everything. I mean, all of our notes, everything I've been studying, with everything that like the guy said. There's nothing I'm missing. What are we? I mean, we're just. What are we? Any clue what we should be looking for here? I mean, right now I'm just kind of wandering around looking for a door or a sign.
Well, you do remember things about Siphon, which was the city where that tower was. This clearly isn't Siphon. You're not sure what would be on this island. It hasn't been referenced outside of in any of your notes.
Okay, and this is actually an island. This isn't just the tip of a huger landmass.
So far, it seems like it. Yeah, it seems to be looping around. You can kind of see, what would be the coastline.
Well, I'll to at least finish. Coming around. Just anything interesting.
So yeah, as you
Maybe
continue
we'll
to
come
go
back to
around,
this.
you can see the same cliff kind of looping around. You can see more of the stones, um, and you can kind of see where where the sea would be. And as you kind of loop around, you notice that there seems to be a strange kind of cluster of stones, almost almost in recognizable shapes. But you are sensing something from there, some sort of power from there.
Looks like a hand, kind of.
Ah, I can see what you mean. I'd like to come over here and investigate. Looking at it purely from magical properties wasn't enough. Uh, I'd like to investigate the stones. Really, kind of
All right, go ahead and give me
getting.
a Arcana check. So while he's making the Arcana check, are you doing anything, Gizzard?
I'm gonna stand watch and see. Just keep an eye around us.
All right, you can go ahead and give me a perception check. I'm going to assume Darcy was keeping up, so I'm going to move her for. She's probably away.
Yeah,
from
give
you.
me a lantern. This whole one-person lantern thing ain't working.
Fair enough. I went ahead and moved you. Once you stop, I'll give you a lantern.
That's a good roll.
All right. Right. So lantern. Okay. And all right. So you got a 23. And one thing you notice is something flying from this direction. You should see it come into view soon. So there's something flying from this direction over here, and searching for something. And
Oh.
what you notice is this large creature that almost looks like a flying worm. You can see that it's got some strange limbs and something a beak and some sort of wicked-looking tail. But anyway, it does seem to be searching for something, and you get the sense that it is rather hungry. So let's see how it sees you.
Hey guys, we
And
have
as
a
it
problem.
flies in, you notice it's flying directly at you. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the grid.
Okay. Y'all, we're in danger.
I'm going to go ahead and move you guys. And I'm going to move this thing. Yeah, it's flying directly at you, Gizzard. And you can kind of tell, kind of see the hunger in its movements. Kind of as animalistic, hunger for
Yeah.
food.
Sorry,
So I'm going to
my.
have you three roll initiative to see who gets to go first.
Give me 1 second. My laptop is quite slow, so it's kind of struggling to load stuff on Forge right now. Oh, here we go. One moment.
All right, so we got Judge, so we need Gizzard and Darcy to roll. Apparently,
Yeah.
Cyclonan's too far away to hear anything, I think.
I'm still trying to load the page again.
Okay. Oh, you weren't in the scene?
No, I was, but it decided to reload as soon as you turn on the grid, and I had to refresh it because it wasn't.
Oh,
It was
okay.
stuck at 100%.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it is a large map. I would have hoped that it would have cached the image, though.
Yeah. That's alright. It should load, theoretically. Yeah, here we go.
All right. Sorry about the noise. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, Darcy, you're kind of off to the side, and you notice this large flying worm-like creature flying directly at Gizzard, and its intent is unmistakable. So what are you gonna do?
It is always something grotesque that attacks us, never something cute. Blast.
All right. So first one misses, second one hits, third one hits. Alright, so looks like 3 damage and 8 damage. So your Eldritch Blast hit, and it does appreciable damage to the creatures that's flying in.
That's it.
Okay. As the creature gets hurt, it starts to scream this shrill scream you wouldn't expect a worm-like creature to be able to make, and you can hear it kind of echoing off the nearby surfaces as it flies in to attack. All right, so it is going to attempt to grasp Gizzard with its tail.
Please, no.
So with a 22, it hits. So go ahead and give me. Alright, so first you take 16 points of damage from the tail as it kind of starts ripping at your scales. Go ahead and give me a DC 18 dexterity save.
Okay. Come on. Hold on.
Alright, so
Hold on.
it's got you unless you have an alternative.
Ending.
Okay, so you have to get at least a 2 on your D4.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I rolled a d6 by accident.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, it did get a 1.
No, it's
So
fine. You
is
can
it
roll your
fair?
D4. It's fine. You need at least a 2. You do not get a 2, so it has you. So once it grabs you, it then pulls you away, and so you find yourself in the air, hanging beneath the above the memory of the sea as it's flying you away.
Guys.
It is now your turn. What do you do?
Can I cast spells in this position?
You were just grappled, so you are not restrained, so yes.
Okay. Let's see here. It's not a humanoid. How sad.
Unfortunately, teleport and flying spells don't work.
That's okay. I wanted to dominate it, but it's not a humanoid.
True enough.
However,
Is it a creature or a beast? What is it?
It would be. We would call it a creature, I think. So something like
Yeah, that
Control
makes-
Monster would work.
how about hold monster?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and hold it here, so it can't fly away with me anymore.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Well,
All right. You succeed. So 1d6 flumps controlled by the DM appear in unoccupied spaces within 60 feet of you and are frightened of you. Wonderful. They all appear basically in the air around you, and they fall into the memory of the sea.
4 of them do.
In fact, you and the cave drake are now falling into the memory of the sea.
For some reason, I thought it would just suspend us like an idiot.
Yeah, no. The bird stops flapping its wings. It falls out of the sky.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't want to
great
say
point.
anything, but I was like, ooh.
Yeah, you didn't think of it. I guess your character didn't think of it either. All right, so go ahead.
And just a FYI, flumps levitate and float.
Oh, do they?
Just in case
There you go.
that changes anything. Yeah.
Okay, fair
A
enough.
flump is a floating jellyfish.
All right, so in that case, they levitate down to where the surface would be, and then all run onto the land.
I could also just choose to end it at any point, right?
choose to end your hold monster?
Concentration. Yeah.
Okay, so you start falling, and then you want to end it. Okay, fair enough. So you
Well,
start.
should I? Is it worse for me to fall into the sea than to be taken off? Do you have a plan, Judge? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, I could turn into a flying creature and try to get you. That's all I could do.
That's true.
Or
Unfortunately, the polymorph
Judge,
wouldn't
can't
work
you?
in Erminig. The
Oh,
polymorph teleport.
Whether you fall or whether you, yeah, whether you fall or whether you don't, I'm gonna grab you this round. So that's all I can.
I'm gonna take a chance and see what
I'm
happens.
gonna grab you this round.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, would I fall all the way down before Judge's turn starts?
No, you'd be in the process of falling when his turn starts.
Okay, I'm gonna maintain this then.
Okay, so the monster is being held. It's falling. It's got its thing wrapped around you. Its tail wrapped around you. You're falling. You could pry yourself free because you're holding the monster, obviously, but that's still where you're at. Okay, anything else in your turn?
Nope, I'm relying on Judge.
Okay, it's ready. All right, Judge. You see what's happening. Both the cave drake and gizzard are falling. They haven't yet hit the surface, but they will after this turn's over.
I cast Hand of Judgment.
Okay.
I can make it appear anywhere within 120 feet of me. They are definitely within that range. Yes, definitely within that range. So I literally just make this large 4-hexed hand appear and grab mostly gizzard, but also this cave thing, and bring them back to shore. Just
Are you
grasp
trying
them
to
and
grab
lead
the
them back to
creature,
shore.
or or is ripping gizzard away from the creature what you're going for?
Honestly, it's a hard one.
Because the creature no longer has gizzard grappled, so if you pull on gizzard only, he'll basically come free.
Well, gizzard would be the main concern. If the other thing came, that's fine. If it falls into the whatever it is, it seems to be able to survive.
Okay. Well, if you're
this
targeting
environment.
gizzard, then we'll say that's what you get gizzard then, and that thing falls.
My plan is to maintain my paralysis until it drowns.
All right. So that was your action. You cast a spell. You got gizzard back on land. Is anything else in your turn, Judge?
No, we're gonna call that.
All right. So before we start the round, Cyclonin, you heard the screams. Sorry, you heard the echoing screams of the creature from the north, and you know
And of gizzard.
you know it's roughly in the direction that the rest of the group went in. And the other thing you notice is the other two creatures on the that went up here fly up into the air. It's not their turn yet, so they can't move, but you notice them fly up into the air. So, do you want to join the fray, or are you going to stay where you're at?
I just heard one of the creatures shrieking.
You heard one of the creatures shrieking from the north. You see two of the creatures kind of taking off over here. So on their turn they're going to move, but you can kind of see them flying into the air. So are you going to do anything, or are you just going to wait where you are? Because if you want to planning on doing anything, I need to add you to the initiative order. If you're going to wait, then I won't bother.
I wait.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Darcy. You see that the creature has fallen out of sight for now, and you can see Gizzard has been rescued and returned to land. So what do you do?
Perhaps we should get going before anything else happens.
Yeah. Um,
Can
my
I
only
finish my investigation here? I did roll like a 27.
You, um, yeah, you definitely started that, and you were starting to kind of piece something together. Then the creature showed up, and everything it kind of went south.
Uh, I'm not finished.
What are you trying to find out about the rock?
Well, it's not just the rock. It could be anything about this place. I cannot tell you what I expect to find until I find it.
I think we should stay and find it.
I mean, unless you think you can maybe charades and communicate with the natives a little better. Otherwise, we're stuck without knowing anything.
Is the critter still hanging out over there?
Well, you saw it fall out of sight, but it's still there. You suspect that it'll probably try to come back once it can.
When Judge said the natives, he gestured back down this way towards that albino guard.
Hmm. Well, as far as I can tell about when it comes to dealing with the drakes, he should be theoretically floating in the water or sinking in the water. So we could use this opportunity to attack him and then think about what we're going to do after we deal with them. I don't think leaving is quite an option yet. I feel like if we get on the boat, we're an easier target than if we're here.
Well, not necessarily like leave the cave area, but more like just leave this spot in particular.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Did we hear the other ones or see them? The other two?
You two haven't seen them yet. They're too far away. They haven't made any
Okay.
noise other than flying.
Understood. Well, I'm currently still holding the Drake in paralysis, so we should make use of that, I think.
Okay. How long would it take me to actually
Stay.
finish?
It's not your turn yet, Judge.
Sorry.
It's technically Darcy's turn in combat. So what are you gonna do, Darcy? I'm gonna move you back.
Well, if it's still just hanging out there, can I physically see it?
You'd have to get closer. You know, maybe to where Gizzard is. Like probably here or here or here.
I mean, I can see it. It's just dulled out because I guess it's in the water or something.
Yeah, so the issue is that the kind of you got the shoreline here, and it's beneath the shoreline, or it's good. Yeah, it's beneath the shoreline because it's been the turn. Yeah, there you go. So it's kind of seeing past that and seeing what would be quote unquote underwater. All right, that's close enough. So 17 hits, 30 definitely
Oh,
hits,
nice.
and so does a 25. So it all hits, and you got a crit. Okay, so your very last hit, and the creature is now bloodied.
Can I use my orb ability
What does that do?
to talk to it? I assume it's
Oh
considered
yeah,
an
you can
animal.
you can use your free action to talk to it. What are you gonna say?
Leave us be. We do not wish to harm you, but you cannot attack our friends.
Okay, you say that, and you don't get a response exactly. You just get a sense of hunger, almost like a bloodlust.
Hmm.
It cannot be reasoned with. We must kill it.
Agreed.
Okay, hit and turn and ready.
All right.
All right, so it is currently held. I think it gets a save, right? Let me get to that thing.
Something like
The target must succeed a saving throw. At the end of each of its turns, it can make a wisdom saving throw. Got it. Okay. All right. You still have it held, assuming you're holding your concentration. So at this point in time, it hits the floor there. All right. Okay, so Cyclonin, you see one of the creatures start flying to the north. And you can tell that they're quite fast. They have a fly speed of 80.
Alrighty then.
Oh, actually, that should have been 160, not 1. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, at this point in time, I think it's probably close enough now that Gizzard, you can hear another one coming from the south.
Uh-oh.
In the direction
Okay.
that Cyclonin was, or the boat was.
My plan is to hide within these rocks. Is that possible?
Sure.
So I can't be picked up?
I'm the rocks.
Yes.
So go ahead and give me a stealth check for hiding. So that's
Well,
going to be your
before I do
action
that-
if you're going to do that. So just so you know.
When I
Unless
say
you have
hide
a
it,
special ability, like I think rogues have something where they can hide on a bonus action or something. But anyway, unless you have something like that, it takes an action.
for me, I mean hiding as in being difficult to grab,
Okay.
rather than actively being hidden. I still want to shoot at this one.
Okay, fair enough. So you're amongst the rocks. You're trying to wedge yourself in to make it harder to grab. All right.
Yeah,
Just hunker down.
exactly. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this guy.
All right. That hits. That misses. And that misses.
Dang.
Actually, does your spell grant you advantage? What does it do to them? Does it restrain them?
Oh, good point. Let's see.
Creature, you see within range, target saving throw, paralyzed. Okay, so it's paralyzed.
Yeah.
So rules, paralyzed. Let's see. There it is. So creature's paralyzed. It can't move. It automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits is critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. So nobody's within that, but you do get advantage on your rolls.
I'll re-roll the other two.
Okay, so that one still misses. So you get 2 hits.
All right. The first one did 12 damage, by the way,
Okay.
and this one did 10.
Fair enough. Creature's still alive, but it's definitely beat up.
And that's my turn.
All right, Judge. You'd have to move closer to see the creature, but you can definitely see that Darcy and Gizzard have been having a good time at it. So what are you going to do?
All right. He will go ahead and step over here.
Yep, so you'd have to be probably here, or here, or closer to see it. All right.
He will step over to there, and then he will scroll up. He'll cast Mind Sliver at it as an action.
Okay. It fails, so go ahead and roll damage. So 6 points in damage, and you can hear it scream as it dies.
Judge will then move back over here to where he was investigating the rocks, and as a bonus action, he will do interposing hand, and he'll say, actually, would he know? Create a large shimmering hand of translucent force. Now that's basically 4 squares. Is that large enough to do interposing hand for more than one person? Like if Darcy and Gizzard kind of huddle close to me, could all 3 of us be under that?
Are you trying to hide under the hand or something?
Yeah, just a second. Hold on. I'll do not.
So the
consume
hand
spell
as an
slot,
object,
but-
AC 20 hit points. Clenched fist, forceful hand. Oh, interposing hand. Here it is. It's between you and a creature you choose until you give a different hand. So yeah, it says specifically. It says between you and a creature that you choose. So that's the
Yeah,
option.
and the creature the creature I choose is way over here, so it's going to be somewhere in between.
Yeah, so you can use the
protecting
hand
me
for
from-
yourself, but it doesn't cover your allies. So, because it specifically says between you and a creature of your choice.
Oh, in that case, I'll just come back over to the rocks and interposing hand.
All right. All right. Let's see. All right, Cyclonin, you see the second creature fly off and head north.
Realize I'm gonna want this thing to sail off. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I'm tied to the boat.
All right, you can just go ahead and move. All right, so Darcy, you can hear flapping from the south. You can't see anything yet though. So what do you do if anything?
Well, if I can't see anything, I can't attack. But she does let them know. I do hear something approaching. Perhaps another. Niche it.
So one thing you can do is you can hold an action. You could use the what's it, the defense action or whatever it's called, to give yourself advantage on attacks and all that, or disadvantage. They get
I
a
mean,
disadvantage or
all
whatever.
she would do would maybe hold a Eldritch Blast, if anything.
Okay, that works. All right, so let's do. All right, looks like it doesn't have enough movement to do anything yet. But a creature, it doesn't have enough movement to attack, but you can definitely see it's getting close. So go ahead and do your Eldritch Blast, Darcy. Darcy, you're gonna do your Eldritch Blast.
Oh. I can just pop it off as soon as it moves close enough?
Yeah, that's you're
Yeah, 'cause
holding your
that's your held
action,
action.
so it's like, yeah. I'm assuming it's something like, if you see one of the creatures, you fire at it or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, that hits. He dodges that one, and he definitely dodges that one. So one hits. Okay, so 7 damage. Blasted as it comes close. All right, Gizzard, you kind of got yourself wedged in the rocks. You can see one of the creatures flying up, approaching the Darcy just shot. What are you gonna do?
Eldritch Blast this dude. Doing the same thing.
Okay. Hits. Crits. And misses.
Okay, I'll take that. So here's the crit, and then the hit.
Alright. Oh, it's 15. I saw 10 for some reason. Alright, no problem. And then another 6. Okay, and turn it around.
And that'll be it. Okay.
Alright, Judge. You can see the creature flying up.
All right. All right, let me read here real quick. And,
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
okay, it's not. Okay, no, I was just double checking. It's going to be clenched fist. So the hand is going to go ahead and move right on up to this thing, and I'm going to use clenched fist.
All right, so hand strikes
give me
one
these.
creature or object. Make a melee spell attack for the hand using your game statistics on a hit. 48 force damage. All right, so go ahead and make a melee spell attack.
Okay, come on. How do I? Here we are.
That is a hit, so go ahead and roll the damage. 48 force.
There we go.
All right, you hit it for 17 points of damage. It's still alive, but badly hurt.
As my actual action, I will go ahead and mind sliver him again, or not again, but just mind sliver him.
Okay, fair enough. It fails. Roll damage. All right, 15 points of damage, killing it, and it starts falling. Hit end turn and ready. All right. Oh, actually, it could have just flown right over. So you see the other one fly up eventually. One thing you notice, though, is this one here, for some reason, seems to ignore you guys and actually dive to where the body is. And so it basically goes and dives down and is clearly trying to get to the body of its ally. Or it's, you know what I mean. All right, Darcy, so you can see the creature has kind of ignored you and kind of diving down to get the body of the fallen. So what do you do?
I mean, if it's just gonna eat its dead friend, let it eat its dead friend. If that's why it's attacking us because it's hungry, let it eat the dead. We don't have to even bother with it anymore.
I agree with this.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do as well, Gizzard?
Yeah.
Darcy's basically just gonna look at the rest and he's like, it has food now. There's no reason for it to bother us. Hurry up and look at those rocks already.
All right, so I want to take you out of combat. So yeah, what you guys see is the cave drake dives down to the body, picks it up, and kind of carries it back out. You can tell by the way it's moving under the surface. It's moving as if it's moving through a liquid. So you can see it's moving slower, and then when it grabs it, it kind of is really working to get out of it. But once it breaches the surface, it starts flying normally again, and it flies back in the direction it came from. You get the impression that these creatures are they don't live in the water, so wherever it came from or went back to, there's probably land there too. All right, so what do you guys do?
I'd like to finish whatever it was for my check earlier.
Oh yeah, so okay, so you investigate the rocks. Hold on, this may make you guys reload. Sorry. Anyway, you investigate the rocks, and there's definitely you can definitely feel like this particular grouping has you can sense a magical signature. Um, it's hard to make out exactly what the purpose is, but it seems like somebody kind of put these things together with some sort of intentionality. Um, you
Oh,
do get the impression, though, that this this is essentially a place of power.
um, is there anything cartograph?
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
What's the
Speak
word
up a bit.
I'm trying to think of the right word here. Um, is there anything? I mean, like Stonehenge-ish? Like, are there
Yeah,
like
that's kind of the impression you're.
waypoints or pointing in directions? Does this give me
You get the
the
impression
the marking on
there's
it?
something about this that potentially is used um, for navigation or something like that. Although you can't quite suss out what it is. But yeah, you are kind of getting that impression that with more study, you might be able to get more out of it. But you suspect that study would potentially take quite some time, at least without gathering more information or that kind of thing.
All right. Well, if I cannot glean anything out of this particular one, I am aware now that these are navigational markers. Perhaps finding more of them will give us a better idea of what direction to go once we get back on the boat.
That said, if you do know that if you spend with at least half the party, or sorry, was it more than half? Yeah, so at least three people. You can spend an hour to do a ritual here to gain some power if you so wish, but it'll take you an hour.
Oh, oh, this is a place of power as well. Yes, I will suggest this. Shall we perform a ritual?
May as well. Let's do it.
While we're here,
All right, so you're gonna spend an hour.
Yeah.
All right, so you start the ritual. So you three are involved. So go back to Cyclonin. So Cyclonin, all that noise that was happening with the those flying creatures, it seems to have stopped. Um, you at the moment you don't really hear much of anything, um, and it's been a while since you've seen Judge and friends. So what do you do if anything?
I'm gonna look for a particularly interesting rock on the ground and go ahead and catalog that away.
Okay, you find a rock on the ground. All right. Anything else? So you.
Nope.
All right. So as you're waiting around, you notice that it's been quite some time. Um, within the next hour, would you have noticed they were gone for a while and done anything?
Probably not, since I'd have been rummaging fruitlessly through my stuff.
All right. Fair enough. So the hour passes. And suddenly, Cyclonin, along with everybody else, you feel an influx of power, and you gain one experience point. So, Cyclonin, you realize that they found a place of power somewhere. I should have got the experience point automatically. All right, so the ritual ends. An hour has passed. Nobody else has come and bothered you. So, what do you three do next? If any of you are talking, I can't hear you.
Yeah. We're.
You
I
do
say we
know
just
that
keep
the
going around the
island
circle.
continues off this direction. You also know that the flying creatures came from this direction, so you suspect there must be land over there as well.
Shall we continue? Perhaps more places of power.
All in one place?
Darcy here.
Who knows?
Alright, so
I'll
Judge
give
has
it
started
sign
going
up.
to the south. What are Gizzard and Darcy doing? You following along?
Yep.
Alright, so you loop around. You see more of the large stones, and the cliff continues around. The cliff's about 10 feet tall, and you continue to the south.
And these ones here are just regular loose stones. They're not arranged as the navigational stones, are they?
Yeah, they're boulders, but yeah, they look natural. Well, as natural as anything with glowing veins can look, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and move Gizzard to where you guys are, because I'm gonna assume that he wants to follow along. All right, so yeah, you can see
he
that
has.
as you know the map ends, but you can see that the sea is over on this side, and it continues off until you can't see it anymore. So this is definitely the end of the island. All right, so as you loop around, you can see it goes both south and kind of loops back east as well. Oh, actually, I should probably turn this on. There we go. All right, so as you come around,
Well.
Judge, you can you hear this clicking noise coming from this direction, like something's tapping the stones.
I very quietly get Gizzard and Darcy's attention. Very, very quietly whisper, well, we can go to the interior of the island, or we can continue on the outside. But I believe I hear something coming from up here. How are we feeling about these?
Brosnan or Darcy or Gizzard, or either of you here? Either of you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd ask the question. I didn't know if you were going to answer.
We should go and investigate it. Or at least one of us, just in case it is something not friendly. And then report back. Who is sneaky?
I believe I can be sneaky, but why not stay together, I would think.
I can turn myself invisible, but I don't want to waste a spell in case something more dire happens later.
Yeah, so let us just...
Also, I can't hear you very well.
Sorry. I was like, all right, then I will try and be sneaky.
As you loop around the corner, you can see the woman from before kind of just tapping her the butt of her spear against the rocks.
I'm going to come back out this way. We've come full circle. It's just our little guard friend. Perhaps you should try again to communicate with her, but let us finish at least getting a lay of the island.
Perhaps she knows where Ermanik is.
Yes, we should probably try to find a different way to communicate more effectively with her. Let us check the last little portion of the island, and then we should go try this.
Do I have to be able to see her to be able to ask if she knows?
I think you need a line of sight.
Alright, well. Where'd you see her?
Right up there.
Okay.
We've been to this place before. We chose to go north instead of to the left.
All right. All right. I can see her. She's all over there in the dark.
Yep.
I'm gonna ping in her brain again.
All right. What do you say?
Do you know the way to Ermenig?
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just see her just start laughing. Then she nods.
Could you show us with a map or drawing?
She gestures you to get closer.
I don't trust that. Someone come with me.
And then once you get close enough that you can see clearly, she takes her hand and she kind of loops it around her head in a circle, and then nods.
So this whole place is Ermenig.
And then she giggles.
There's an entrance right there that her butt keeps floating around.
Yeah.
Also the circle over her head, I think she meant more like a halo, like, oh, I know how to get there. You have to die. She thinks she's funny. The the quick problem solver side of me just says, "Oh, I know a way to get her out of the way. Chunk her in the freaking void ocean. We can walk in, but whatever." Darcy wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not overly thrilled about that yet.
And I'm assuming Darcy wouldn't do that due to a lack of strength score.
No,
Sorry,
more of like, look, Darcy wouldn't do that not because she couldn't pick her up, but because she just wouldn't be like, "You're in my way, murder." Because she doesn't want to have to kill someone unless she is kind of forced to. She's not that kind of individual.
Anyway,
If she could find a way to, like, I could charm her or try to. I don't know how well it would go.
Actually,
Hello?
hello.
Or someone could distract her.
Hello.
hey. Okay.
Sorry, my computer really does not like Forge today for some reason. And it somehow crashed my entire computer.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't miss a whole lot. We wound up looping all the way around. We came up across the albino security lady again, and now we're going to make more of an attempt to try and communicate with her.
Sounds good.
I think we should trick her so she can move her butt out of the way.
Gizzard.
Because she's clearly trying to keep us from going in there, which that might be where we need to go. Or it might not be. Who knows?
I do not have a spell called Comprehend Languages, but I am aware of such a spell. I just do not have it ready for myself. I don't suppose you would know this spell.
I do not have it ready right now. However, it may be an option in the future. In more meta terms, I can pick that up.
Yeah, you can pick it up at a level up, but you don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I will pick it up because I think it'll be very useful here.
Now, it's something I want to try and do, but I, as a player, don't know how to do this, but I believe Judge would be able to figure it out. I'm not sure how to articulate this appropriately. See, when psychologists want to talk to children who have disabilities, like they're mute or deaf or something, they start using physical objects and other means of somatic communication. I'm attempting to think of a way to try this with her, but uh,
What, you want to try Morse
judges.
code with her by tapping?
No, it's not Morse code. It's more like I'm gonna break out my chess set and then break out some cheese and sausage and sit down and offer her the food. And if she sits down, then we can start trying to play association games like the knight looks like a horse, and the and through these objects and stuff, we can start trying to communicate better. It's that type of thing.
Darcy
I know.
has drawing paper and graphite. She could
Oh,
literally draw pictures for this lady.
that would help too if you want to break that out. But I'm trying to think of a better way to communicate. Judge is way smarter than the player is, so he should be able to figure out what I'm not.
Well, it is true that Judge is very smart. Um, However, I would also say that he has a low charisma, so he's not necessarily a people person. So it's like I don't think he would necessarily have psychologist skills. Uh, his intelligence is more into things like natural sciences and magic and
Yes.
stuff like that.
And that is exactly why I'm trying to get Darcy to sit down and help me, because she can be what I don't understand. Either she helps me or I help her. Maybe I help her. Maybe it's going to be her charisma, but I'm leading her thought process logically, and she knows what to do instinctually.
You know what? I'm gonna try to see if she'll be more helpful if I offer her a piece of ink, well, some ink and a paper if she actually would be helpful and give us something, or if she's just gonna make fun of us again.
Well, Judge does do the sit down and food thing. I mean, he might not be that much of a people person, but he does know that food opens a lot of doors.
Okay, so what kind of food do you offer?
I do have some of my nice sausage and cheese for when we're snacking, and I do have a couple of regular rations, but I'll break out the sausage and cheese and
I hope she's not
see.
like those cavemen who thought bread was spicy.
We'll find out.
All right. So you're trying to offer food, and what are you trying to do, Darcy?
I am going to get out my drawing stuff, my pen and ink and scroll paper,
Okay.
and chime your brain again.
All right. What do you say?
My friend wishes to offer you food, if you would like. If you do truly know a way to Ermenig, or preferably to where perhaps a civilization or a place beyond just this island, could you draw it?
She thinks about it for a moment and shrugs. And she puts out her hand, uh, kind of in the direction of your art supplies.
So she's gonna accept the ink paper and
Yeah,
do
if you
it.
give it to her, then yeah, she'll take it.
Yep, I give it.
Okay, so she takes it. She kind of thinks for a moment and says, "Hmm. All right." She kind of nods and then, "Kaka," and then starts trying. She starts trying to draw something. You can tell that her penmanship, to say it's not good, would be to give her far more praise than she deserves. However, let's see what she draws. Hold on. Just give me a minute to get a reference image real quick. What am I looking for? Yeah, there it is. Alright, so she starts drawing. I'm just going to draw on the water here. And she's like... And she like, draws a shape. She draws like, some other shapes. And draws like some other shapes. And then she does an arrow, and then and does an arrow, and she just draws a number of shapes on the paper, which you guys can see none of. Fantastic. Why can't you see them? Sorry, give me a second. I don't know why you guys can't see it. It's probably because it thinks it's levels. Alright, let me delete that then. Try it's a different way. Alright. Draw. Okay, so you guys see that. Okay, great. Let's try this again. And that's what she draws. She points she points here and then points at you. She points here and after thinking for a moment, she says something a couple of times, and then finally it comes out as Siphon. And then she says Ermanig, and then she circles the whole thing.
Okay, so this whole place is Ermanig. We are here on this island right here, right now. This looks to be a representation of a cave. And past the cave would lead to the
Siphon?
Tower of Siphon. And so Judge will point to this line, and this, what I'm guessing is a representation of a cave, and then point to Siphon. And then he will point here, behind her.
She then shakes her head and laughs again. She points at this, and she makes gestures with her fingers, almost like waterfall, and it's like.
Ah. Okay. And so Judge is going to hold this piece of paper flat, like it's the land, and he's going to turn in such an orientation. This is where we are. And then he's just going to kind of slowly sweeping point until he's pointing in this vague direction on the topical portion of the island. Is there going to be a confirmation or positive or negative?
She just points. She points up this direction in general, and she just does a motion with her hands in that direction.
All right, I got it. We have to leave this island and go in that direction, basically. Not that it will be easy with absolutely no landmarks or water or stars or anything to navigate by, but if we go that direction, we will find a waterfall, and through the waterfall will be the place we are looking for.
She takes the paper and she kind of folds it a couple of times so it looks vaguely like a boat. And then she goes it kind of mimes it kind of floating above the ground, never getting too far away from the cave entrance. Uh, and then she points at you, and she points at the paper, and shrugs.
Um, he will gently reach over and take the boat from her, and I will nod yes, point at the boat, point at us three, and point behind us in this direction.
And she nods, and she says, she tries to say something, and then shakes her head. And then she she gestures for the paperback, and
I hand back.
and then she draws kind of like a figure. And and she points at the figure, and she points in this direction, and then she gestures at you, and then gestures in this direction again.
You want us to go in that direction. Is there people in that direction that we need to go to?
She points at the figure, and then she points in that direction.
All right, so there are people that ways. Maybe your people's that ways?
I will translate to her brain. There are people that way?
She nods at you.
Are they friendly?
She shrugs. But then she points here, and then she draws a line from the figure to there.
Ah, go find the peoples. They will take us to the place. Gotcha.
Did you figure out what she was guarding behind the cave?
No, and you did not ask her just directly. She does understand you. She just cannot communicate back very well.
Alright. She'll just ask. Do you guard a path that is dangerous?
She shakes her head. Uh, she puts up her hand, and then she goes inside the cave entrance just a little bit, and comes back out, and she's got a pick in her hand. Uh, and then she has another hand what looks like a small cyan crystal, the same color as the veins in the rock. And then she takes the crystal and she points at it, and she points at herself.
Ah,
You are a
guarding a
miner.
mine. Yeah. Well, we do not wish to steal from you. Oh, wait a second. Judge is going to reach into his backpack. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. He's going to take out one set of, like 2 dice, petrified wood dice that he carved. And he's going to kneel down and he's going to show them to her. It's like, do you know what these are? Do you understand the game?
She nods.
And so I roll the dice. And Darcy, does she understand the game? Does she understand what these are? And then
I will ask. Do you know
And then
what those are?
She nods at you.
She
Right.
knows what they are.
I hand them to her and kind of gesture eyeball, and then I point at my eyeball, and then I point at the dice. As I recall, one of my last rolls for making those was pretty high, so I'm trying to convince her that they're really nice dice.
Well, you could just
I think they
tell
are.
Darcy to tell her that they are nice.
I would like to be trading her this object for one small stone.
He wants to trade you dice for a small sample of the stone, if that is
Would that
okay.
be? Yeah, would that be fair trade? I do not know what the stone is. I would like to see. I wish not to steal from you, but I want you to see.
She nods. She holds out the a small cyan-colored crystal, and then she holds out the other hand for the dice.
I place the dice in her hand, I take the crystal, and I smile and nod.
She nods back.
Okay. So she is guarding her, whatever this is, crystal mine. We need to go off in this direction to find peoples to take us to Siphon. Or possibly this direction will lead to Siphon itself, but that was less clear. So I'll
I think
turn
she was
and
just giving us a general direction of Siphon is
yeah,
that way. Or
yeah,
people are that way and they can lead us to Siphon.
yeah. That's basically what I was getting to. I will turn to her and I will say I will um, gesture to my own chest with an open hand and say, "Judge," and then I will gesture to her.
I will
She
chime in her brain. His name is Judge. What is your name?
she shakes her head. She covers her face and then shakes her head.
You are having no name?
She sighs. She holds she holds her spear in front of her and kind of waves it back and forth, and then she covers her face and shakes her head.
You have no name, or your name was possibly taken from you.
She shakes her head. Actually, she wouldn't understand what you're saying. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, she just
Uh,
shrugs.
Perhaps she is not allowed to tell us because she is a special guard. I don't know.
Well, at the very least, please tell her it was very nice meeting her and we appreciate her help. I think we shall finish circumferencing the island, perhaps seeing a little bit higher and then getting back to the boat. Unless anything else brings us back to her little cave.
I'm going to thank her via brain chime for her help. And
She nods.
we will try to find those people that she mentioned. And I'm just going to clarify that she mentioned to go that way to people.
She nods. She
Right.
points, and yeah, she points this direction.
All right. Well, we have a destination.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to take off a good 20 minutes for all that. So you guys sit still for a second. So Cyclonin, after you gain that burst of power, um, another 20 minutes passed since then. Are you still there waiting? Cyclonin? Okay, fair enough. All right, back to the group. So what are you guys going to do next?
Probably we need to gather everybody and then go the direction she pointed us to.
Agreed.
I figured we would just go back down here, finish our little sweep of the island, perhaps see what we can see up on the cliffs higher, and then head back to the boat. Yes.
We already have a set destination. What are you trying to find? More of those winged creatures to fight?
No, but perhaps another place of power, or at the very least, just to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, can't
Do we
we
know what is
ping to
here?
see if there's another place of power without having to look around for it?
We couldn't tell the first one until I investigated it for quite a while. I do not believe it works exactly the same.
Or it
I
was
don't
just
remember
enough
anybody
power
trying to
in the
look for
rock.
the while.
Yeah. You know what? Let's ping. Ping, anything come on the radar?
No, you're not sensing
Okay.
anything. All right, so you've continued to go south. Judge, you can vaguely make out whispering coming from this direction.
Ooh.
Coming from this direction?
Yeah, from the south.
Oh, shit.
Hit Control Z. You killed yourself.
Yeah.
What?
Here you
Not
go.
trying to do that.
Deleted himself. Sorry.
There we go. I don't know how I got turned sideways.
All right.
Being cautious, I would like to try to be stealthy if we are listening to noises.
If you're trying to be stealthy, go ahead and make a stealth check. Same with anybody else if you're trying to be stealthy.
Eh,
Yeah,
She's
why
not. She's not really. She wasn't told to be stealthy.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, as soon as he said we heard whispering, I figured I'd try and start to be stealthy.
All right, so as you come around, you still hear the whispering, but now it seems to be coming from this direction.
Okay. I would like to very quietly peek around the corner if possible.
Okay. As you start peeking around, you notice more of the albino people seem to be speaking amongst themselves. You can see that there are two males and one female of the group, and they all have that similar, very pale appearance. They all have spears and the strange leather garments, and they all seem to have skinny limbs and fragile-looking features.
Hmm.
Cave people.
As you approach, they would notice Darcy at least, and one of them steps forward. Actually, they all step forward, and they're holding their spears, and they start talking. Ah,
All of them are invisible.
Are they invisible?
All of them are invisible. Yeah. We don't see anything over here. I saw you move something to here, but this is all empty.
Oh, that's weird. You should be able to see them.
I can see him, so it might be on his end.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Brosnan? Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on
Yeah.
your end then.
Sorry about that.
Since they're talking at me, I assume she's gonna chime in the woman's brain since she's the one in the front. I cannot understand you, but I can at least speak to you this way. I will not know your reply.
As you speak, they all look your direction, Darcy, and you notice for a brief moment all of their eyes glow blue, and then they go back to normal. Uh, and the woman nods, and then she she kind of shrugs and then kind of points her spear your direction, and then kind of kind of an upward gesture, motion, uh, and with the other hand, she kind of makes a shooing motion.
Yes, I am from the surface, but we are here to. What was the place called that we were trying to find?
Siphon. Erminig.
We are trying to get to Siphon.
Um, the woman, uh, the woman nods, and then she she points to a spot at the ground, and she takes her spear, and then she stabs at it. Uh, kind of miming the gesture of stabbing at it, and then um, she gestures at you and at the position at the point on the ground and stabs at it, and then shakes her head.
When you say shakes her head, she means no gesture or yes gesture?
Just back and forth, like no, yeah.
Okay.
Then she rubs her chin, and then um, she puts up her hand as if she just thought of something, and then she reaches around in her pack and she pulls out a couple of clay figurines. They look kind of like humans, and they're very white, carved out of white stone, and they all have their own spears. And she kind of lays them out, um, and then she gestures at her and her companions, and then she mimes stabbing at those things. And then she
You are
takes
here
the
for combat?
figurines and puts them away. The figurines reminded you a lot of the Carrig that you met in the cave. They look like Carrig figurines.
Didn't we talk to the friendly towards us?
Yeah, those are the clay stone creatures.
I'm going
The ones who,
to
yeah.
ask her, are those supposed to be Carrick?
She nods.
You are enemies of them?
She nods again.
Do they not allow visitors to that place?
She shakes her head.
So no?
She shakes her head again.
Is she shaking her head yes or no? That's what I'm trying to.
She's shaking her head no, back and forth.
Okay.
Yes, it's probably going to be the word nod.
Okay.
And then she points at you and takes one of the figurines out, points at the figurine.
I am not one of them.
And then she nods and puts the figurine away.
All right.
Still, we wish to go there.
She takes out the figurine again, and she points at you, and she points at the figurine.
Should we find them to take us to Siphon? Is what you're saying?
Do we
Is
need
that
to
what you're saying?
find them, as she points at the figurine, the Keurig to find Siphon?
She nods, but then afterwards she takes her spear and she makes a stabbing motion at the Carrig and a stabbing motion in your direction.
Oh. She is not friendly with the Keurig and would not be friendly towards anybody who is friendly with the Keurig. Okay.
I will ask her directly. Are your people at war with the Keurig?
She nods. She nods in the yes direction.
Can you inform her that we are on no side of this war and simply need to pass through? And any assistance they would give us would be greatly appreciated.
I kind of want to know why they're at war. We
Well,
do
you can ask
not
that too.
want to be a part of the war. We only wish to find a location.
She nods. And then she she motions the stabbing motion at the Carrig again. Stabbing motion at you and shrugs.
Do they have a civilization around here? They're looking pretty well dressed.
For real.
You know what? I'm gonna ask. Since it is not good to find Keurig, do you have a city or community or town that we could go to instead?
She she nods and then points at you and then shakes her head.
Oh, so you do, but we can't go.
She nods.
How hospitable of them.
I know. I know. Has there been others like us from the surface through here before?
She nods.
Where did they go?
She takes out one of the figurines and points at it.
Well, where we go? After we're gonna head, if she's not gonna be nice to us, where else does she think we're gonna go? Jeez. All right. Uh. Hmm. Well.
And then she thinks for a moment, and then or kind of puts her hand on her jaw, and then she rifles around in her pack for a bit, and then throws a what looks like a scroll on the ground, in between you and her, and she points at you and points at the scroll, and then she points at the scroll and points at one of the figurines.
I would like to open this.
All right, so you're gonna walk up and open it.
Yes. I'm keeping an eye on her. If she makes any sort of unpleasant gesture, I will stop what I'm doing. But yes, I'm gonna
Okay,
go over and.
so you go and you open it, and you see these strange blocky letters, and you can't make heads or tails other than it is some sort of writing, um, and that's it. Just a bunch of writing.
Right. I've not encountered this writing before. No, none of these symbols in all of my through Arcana or
That's right. When you were
translating
looking at
languages.
things
Nothing.
up on the surface, you didn't see any of this writing in relation to Ermenig or anything else. So somehow it either hadn't made it there yet, or you hadn't gotten to the materials that had it in there yet.
All right. And she
Um.
gestured. She pointed at the little Curie figurine.
Yeah.
You
So
want
she
us to
pointed at
deliver this
Darcy,
message.
and then she pointed at the scroll, and then she pointed at the scroll, and then pointed at the figurine.
She wants you to deliver a message. Is that what she's getting at here?
Let me confirm. Do you want me to give that message to the Keurig?
She nods.
I sincerely
Oh,
hope this message will not be.
and then she seems to realize something, and then she throws a small pouch next to the scroll.
I will open the pouch.
Inside, you see several small cyan crystals.
Ah, she's paying us to deliver as a message.
Oh, you know what? I know it's gonna be hard for her to tell me, but I want to know. Why are you fighting the Keurig? Is it over the crystals? And she's gonna like motion to the bag that she threw.
She shakes her head. She kind of smiles and shakes her head no.
Is it because of your deities?
She shakes her head again.
Wait, they were over here in a group, whispering, right?
Yes. There's
I'm
three of them
wondering.
there. I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's three of them together there.
Yeah, I can see them. Okay. But yeah, there was all three of them. They're sitting over here around the corner whispering to each other. There's another one of them over there guarding a cave. I'm wondering if we stumbled upon these three trying to steal or whatever that other lady up above us.
Hmm.
Did we walk into a robbery in planning?
Or are they dressed the same as the other lady?
Yeah, they're clearly the same people. They're wearing similar clothing or similar the strange leather garments and similar weapons and so forth.
Does sending work in the same way that if I can just talk to them, would they understand me, or would it have to be in a language they know?
Let me check real quick. Sending.
I think sending is arbitrary of languages.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. I'm just waiting for it to load.
And would sending allow the response to be understood by me too?
This spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understanding the meaning of your message. And they can send it back the same way, so I think they can send back a response that you can understand.
Awesome, great. I've seen her, I know her. I can ping her.
So who are you going to send the message to?
The guard at the mine entrance.
Okay, sure. Okay, what are you going to say?
Do you work with 3 others? They are at a cave entrance. Where'd we go? West, south? Which direction we go?
We are north of the guard.
North of you.
All right, you get a message back. This is interesting. There are others. We compete. I have authorization.
I think I was right.
Gonna have to use all my spells just to talk to these people. Okay, so they compete. She has authorization. Oh, God. You know what? I'll do it. I want to know. I'll use the sending spell on the lady that I've been chiming into.
Okay.
This one. Why are you at war with the Keurig?
Okay. She looks at you as she gets it, and kind of thinks about it, thinks of a response for a bit, and finally, she you see her nod, and then she says, "We were once allies, but our homes, our people are dying. They have lost their way. We must conquer them to survive. The rusted fight against us." And then she nods.
All right. Sending again. Have the Keurig been corrupted by bug demons? And then she's gonna call the Sorg.
She thinks for a moment and says, "Not quite. They have, some of them, the Fane of Sorg, were dedicated to ridding demons of hunger, but it failed. Mm. They have just lost their way."
What was the guy's name? The demon guy we accidentally let out.
He definitely gave you a name. You have no idea whether it's the right one or not.
Yeah.
Like
if I
player can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, Judge should remember, even though Tyler doesn't.
Let's see. Oh, actually, I can find out. There we are. No, actually, I don't remember because he just made it up off the top of his head, and knowing he's a demon now, you realize that now.
Oh no, the Keurig we talked to just before we came across on the boat.
I had to
They told us
talk
the
louder.
name of the demon. Sorry, the Keurig we were talking to before we came across on the boat. They told us the real name of the demon.
No, they told you the name of the sorcerer who had trapped the demon, which was Bethalon.
Bethalon.
Yeah. So Bethalon
You know
had
what? She's
trapped the
gonna.
demon, but yeah, they simply called him the demon.
All right. She's going to ask the lady. Do you know Bethalon and the demon he's trapped?
Is this another sending?
Yep.
All right. She nods and she says, "Bethalon is a sorcerer who was once human. Somehow he survived. He helped the Carrig. He is our enemy. I do not know of the demon you speak of."
Well,
Perhaps if we're getting more in-depth messages here.
she's gonna turn to her companions after I would assume chatting for like 15, 20 minutes and basically um, reveal everything she's learned.
Okay.
All right.
don't really
So
have
once you
my
start
things.
talking to your companions, they kind of go back to where they were and just kind of uh, start just kind of lounge.
Um, all right. You are the one
Um,
that has to burn all your spell slots.
we can barely hear you.
All right. All right. Hello. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Um, you might not have to be wasting all your spell slots. I have a few myself for sending. Hmm. Now I have a map of like the overhead world, but not even a vague sketching of the the memory of the ocean or
The only
Ermeneg
vague
or anything like
sketching was
that.
the one that woman made on the scroll.
You know what? Let's
Okay,
maybe they can make a better one.
that's what I'm gonna try. Um,
I can chime so you don't have to use it because they don't need to understand me to. Well, I don't need to understand them for them to make a map.
okay, but yeah, I've got paper and pen, and you've got paper and drawing supplies. So
Yeah. I'm gonna chime to her. Can you draw us a map to
Siphon.
what's it called? Dadgummit.
Siphon. Siphon.
Typhoon, so we could find the others like us from the surface.
And she nods, but then she pulls out a small sack similar to the sack she threw with the gems in them or with the crystals in it, and then she points at you. She points at that. She points at herself, and then she puts it away.
Pay her for a map.
I can't hear you, Tyler.
Pay her for the map?
Yeah, she wants to be paid for the map. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out a Mithna and ask this woman if this holds any value.
Okay.
Gems do.
Um, do you accept this?
She shakes her head.
I am going to show then one of my um emerald jewelry. Do you accept this?
She shakes her head.
Well, hell, we can just give her back the bit of money she gave us. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Tell her how much. How many?
Speak
You're
louder.
soft again.
Sorry. Just ask her how many of these gems would it cost for a map, if she would be willing.
How many gems for the map?
Um, she points at the ground where she threw the sack, and then she points. She puts up a finger, and then she points at the ground where the sack was. She puts up the other 9 fingers, so she has 10 fingers up.
10 times the amount she has given us.
Darcy looks at her unimpressed, very much like, nice try. No, thank you.
She shrugs.
Looking at her, I was gonna say, looking at her, was she actually like about to reach into her backpack and pull out a map, or was she actually going to take the paper we were holding and draw a map before she realized that she once paid for it?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Please, please, please.
Unfortunately, she didn't seem to make any specific motions. She seemed to think of the money before giving herself away.
Okay.
I'm gonna chime back into her brain. Um, We are outsiders. Why would we have your currency?
She shrugs.
But do we have anything else to trade? Ask her if there's anything else she's willing to accept.
I
as
can't
trade.
hear you.
Ask her if there's anything else she's willing to accept as trade.
Do you accept anything else as trade? We do not have your currency.
She nods, and then she pulls out a one of the figurines, and then she takes her spear. Careful not to point it your direction, but she takes her spear and she stabs it at the figurine hard enough that it knocks the head off. And then she picks up the little piece that's the head, and she points at you. She points at the head, and she points at herself.
Ah, bring us the head of your enemy. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay.
You want us to bring you a head of a Keurig.
She nods.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, I'm very quickly going to open that small pouch of cyan gems she gave me. How many gems are actually in there?
There's 10 total, counting the one that you already got from before.
All right, so she gave us 9 gems.
Yeah.
And she wants 90 gems for a map.
Yeah, she can kiss my ass on that.
Well,
if you have illusionary spell, find a rock, make it look like a head, and give it to her. We can move on. Like, why we even? You know?
Yeah.
Bamboozle these people and move on. Besides, she's greedy anyway.
Honestly, I kind of agree.
I'm not just gonna murder someone because you got personal beef.
Yeah, for real.
Also, it's like someone coming from a different country straight off the like boat or plane, and then someone being like, "Oh yeah, sure, I could show you where the nearest like gas station is for $1,000." Sir, I just got here. You think I have American money? No.
I have an idea. I know this. We are going to go talk to the lady up there. She has
Speak a little louder, Tyler.
It's like, I've got an idea. I know what we can do here. I'm going to go speak to the lady up above. She has a whole mine full of gems. I will get gems from her. I will not tell her that you are here. I will not tell her you are here. I will just go ask to trade for gems. You can tell them that. And I wink very noticeably.
I have no idea what your plan was.
Don't worry, I got it.
All right. Gizzard, you going with him?
You're gonna come with us too. Just tell her and come on.
Oh, so we all need to go?
You can stay there if you want. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Just you know where we're going, so you can tell them why we're leaving.
Good point.
Do they ask or do they say anything?
They've just started lounging. They started ignoring you.
Perhaps I should stay with Darcy.
Yeah, stay with me. They might try to rob me or something. Then I'd have to murder them, and that would
Exactly.
be bad.
All right, I'm going to come around the corner here. I'm going to go to the bag that she gave me. I'm going to take the cyan gems out of that bag. I am then going to find a bunch of small pebbles of roughly the same size.
Actually,
Okay.
wait, no, come back. Come back. I'm going to run after you. Click, clock, click, clop. I have little hoofy feet. I want to know what this stupid message said.
I don't know what that message says either. I would prefer to translate it as long as it doesn't say something like "kill the messenger." But
Right,
what I'm going to do,
right? Which is why I'm going to ask our more friendlier person that could read it. Hey, translate to this for us, please. Those goons over there gave it to us.
well, she did say that's interesting, but What I'm going to do is I'm going to give her 90 stones that roughly look about the same size and shape as the cyan gems. I'm then going to give it to her, and I'm going to convince her that it is the
Can
money
you
she asked
illusion
for.
them?
No, I can illusion her mind.
Ooh. Let me talk to her first. I don't want you to accidentally make her mad.
Good plan.
No. I'm going to illusion those other 3 peoples.
Okay.
She
Um,
watches as you approach again.
Can you translate this for us? That's
Okay.
with the
She
chime,
she
and then she's gonna hand the paper over,
okay.
and then in her brain say, "Those 3 tried to get us to send this to someone."
Okay. She reads over it, and then she looks, and then she sighs as she's looking at you, and she points at the scroll. She points at herself, but shakes her head and points at you.
Oh no, she's sending for
Oh, she's doing
the last
ascending.
bit. That way
Oh,
she could
okay,
talk.
okay, that's different. All right, and then she says, "It is kind of complicated, but ultimately, sorry, it is an ultimatum that wrong word. It says that you are there to kill the Carrig, unless they give up Siphon."
Goodness, we got that figured out. Darcy is going to like roll her eyes and kind of just sigh loudly.
Okay. Can you
And
tell
she's
her?
going to tell Judge what it said, basically.
All right, I get this. All right. Can you tell her
Judge, you
that
have to speak
woman
louder.
has a map? Sorry. Can you tell her that the peoples down below have, first off, that they are there? So
Well, she knows they're
she's
there.
okay. Secondly, can you tell her that this woman wants 90 small cyan gems for a map that we desire? Would you be willing to help us in trade, or is this a ridiculous sum of money? And I'm
I
pretty
bet
sure
it's
a
a
yes or
ridiculous
no.
sum of money. I
I,
bet
I'm
it
I'm
is.
I'm pretty sure she can answer yes or no, so you can just do the chime instead of sending.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you gonna say, Darcy?
Basically, we wanted a map to Siphon. They wanted to charge us what was it, 90
90
or
of the
100?
gems.
I can't hear you. You have to talk loud.
Yeah, 90 of the gems.
90 of the gems, and she's gonna motion to the pouch that
She laughs when you say that.
Okay. Can you ask her? She was not aware that these peoples were on the island around the corner from her. Do you think?
she knows
Ask
they're
her if
there.
she.
They're in
Yeah,
competition with one another.
yeah. Ask her if she believes that they are there trying to attack or rob her, or if that's what she thinks that they will do.
Are they robbers?
She shakes her head, and she takes her spear, and then she kind of makes a pinching motion, and then makes a stabbing motion.
Stealing. They're just thieves.
You have to speak louder, Tyler.
Right. Did that come across as like stealing? Like they're just thieves? They're gonna pinch?
So she made a pinching motion, and then in the same area where she made the pinch, she stabbed.
I wish I was better at charades.
I can't hear you again.
Said I wish I was better at charades. I am not. Well, can Judge get any insight as to the gesture she made?
You could just ask her flat out with you using sending instead of me doing all of it.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to start doing the sending thing, but you were using your chime again. Huh.
Because we're only going to get charades with something like that if I use the chime.
Okay. All
I
right,
love how
I'm
this
going
is
to
a very
go.
elaborate telephone.
Yeah, this is a very elaborate telephone. All right, hold on. Let me pull it up. I'm pulling it up. All right, use it. Consume spell slot. Okay, I'm going to ask her. I'm having hard. No, I'm going to ask her. Are those people around the corner there coming to rob you, or are they just trying to get their own gem mine?
She responds, in our culture, if you rob without authorization, you are killed. Not by the person you robbed, but by those in charge. So no, they would not dare try to rob me. However, you are not part of our people, so she shrugs.
Ah, okay.
Trying to pull a fast one, overcharge us because we're dum-dums from the surface.
Yeah. Yeah, they ask us for something impossible and try and send us on a suicide mission with a letter that says, kill us.
You went quiet again.
Oh, I heard him. He's trying. They were going to send us on a suicide mission, basically.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go talk to those people again. Thank you very much for your help. You have been a very kind person. And you can chime that. You don't have to spend a spell slot if you wish.
You are quiet again.
You can chime that to her if you wish. You don't have to spend a spell slot.
Chime to her what? I couldn't hear what you were saying at all.
Oh, sorry. I'll chime to her that thank you very much. You have been very helpful and kind. I'm going to go speak to those other people again for a moment.
All right. Thank you.
I'm going to come
for
down
your
here.
help.
Go ahead, Darcy. What are you gonna? What did you say?
Thank you for your help, is what she chimes.
She nods. All right, and Judge, what are you doing?
I'm going to go down here. I'm going to have that empty bag that used to have the cyan gems in it. I'm going to fill it up with around 90 small stones that are the same size and about the same weight. And then I'm going to tie the bag tight.
Okay.
And then I am going to come back over this way.
Okay, so you come around the corner, and they're still in the same spot. They kind of come forward as you come around again.
Okay. I'm waiting. Darcy and Gizzard are going to show up.
Nope, I ain't showing up for that. In case
All right.
your illusion
No one's
goes
showing up
south,
for
I
you.
don't want to get.
No problem. No problem.
Look, if it goes south, they can only be mad at you.
That's true. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Fine.
Besides,
We'll
you
do
can
it that
tell.
way.
Well, you can handle him. You're a big boy. You can blast him.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. All right.
Also, Darcy doesn't like them at all. She's
Yeah.
like, I know you're trying to rob us. I know what you are. I don't appreciate that.
All right. Judge is going to go over there, and he's going to gesture to the woman in charge, and he's going to point at himself, and then make walking motions with his fingers, and then point south. And then he's going to say, as he's using his hands to mouth the words, "I talked to the lady up there.
She shrugs.
I trade." Okay. And then I'm going to reach into my backpack and pull out 2 objects, and I am going to gesture. I traded her. I'm acting all this out. I'm, using my arm gestures. I'm trying to use props to literally pantomime everything I'm saying. I traded her my stuff for some more gems. And I reach in my pocket and pull out 1 cyan gem. Yeah? Gems. Trade
So go ahead and give me a
gems.
performance check.
Oh God.
I actually have
Oh,
performance.
boy.
It's part of the Blade Singers thing.
Well, let's hope it works out.
Yep. Let's hope.
I wonder if I can guidance myself because I'm trying so hard.
Sure. When your spell goes off, your cantrip or your guidance, you notice that their eyes flash blue for a second,
Mm.
but it
So
still
they
works.
are aware. Yeah. It just means that they're like aware. It
Yeah.
something.
All right. The woman nods, and she kind of reaches her hand
Right.
out, with her palm up.
Okay. Are these other 2 like literally right behind her holding spears, or
Yeah,
am I? I'm
they're behind her,
dealing
and
directly.
their spears are pointed upward, but they're definitely holding them at the ready.
All right.
A literal mugging waiting to happen.
Yep. I will take out the same bag she gave me, which looks much fuller now. And oh, this isn't going to work at all. Damn it. I just got into a fight. Fuck.
This is why I didn't want to go.
Well,
Well, no, I just now realized it's not going to work because of the blue glow. But I hand her the bag.
Okay.
And I hand out I don't give her over the bag. I'm just holding it closed. And as she reaches for it, I hold my hand out.
Okay.
She knows what I want.
She takes the bag. She nods. She takes the bag, and she goes to open it.
No. Where's the map? She knows what I want. I'm looking for a map in hand
She doesn't have a map
before I
in
let
hand.
go of the gems.
She's
Before I let go of the
trying
gems.
She's trying to open the gems.
Right.
If
I'm holding the bag.
If you don't give it to her,
Okay.
basically what she does is she shakes her head. She gestures like she grabbed the bag and pulled it open. And she says she points to the bag, points at her eyes, and nods.
All right. And then I'm going to point to my eyes. And then I'm going to hold my hand out flat. And then I'm going to use a finger as if I'm drawing a map.
Okay, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I see map.
Yeah, she gets what
This
you're
is
trying
going
to
to be
say, so you're trying to persuade her, so go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
This is going to suck, guys.
This is why I didn't want to be there.
She shakes her
Well,
head
you could
and
help
she,
with some
and
of
she
these rolls.
points at the bag, does the opening gesture, points at her eyes, and then and points at herself.
Walk away, man. Walk away.
yeah, this is no
No,
good.
I'm committed. I'm going to fucking do it. I know it's stupid, but it's actually not horrible yet. Hand her the bag. As I
Okay.
hand her the bag, I've readied.
All right. She opens the bag and then spills
As she
the.
opens the bag,
Okay.
just to open it to start looking in, I cast Modified Memory.
Okay. Let's bring that up. See what does that do?
Okay. It's coming. Hold on.
No problem. We'll wait.
I love to see this train go. I'm just waiting for it to either wreck or coast through.
All right. You're not fighting yet, so Oh wait. You attempt to reshape another creature's memories. They have to make a saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes. Oh yeah. Okay. The charmed target is incapacitated and aware of its surroundings, so it can still hear you. Interesting. Okay, well, let's
Only
see what
for the
happens.
moment that you're telling her. Okay.
Okay,
That's a
it
failure.
works.
All right. As she opens the bag, the memory modified is that she sees a bag full of cyan gems, and that is exactly what she wants. Very happy with her con, because it's modifying her whole memory, not just what she sees. Very happy with herself because her con worked. Still wondering, just out of curiosity, what this slime ball here could have traded to that other woman for these gems. She realizes she doesn't care because she has the gems now. She very gently pulls the sack shut, puts it in her bag, and now she's going to give me the map,
Fair,
thinking that she has gems.
fair enough. The people behind her are looking a little puzzled. This guy kind of. Actually, I'm going to make a perception
They
check.
didn't get to. They didn't get to see over her shoulder what was in the bag. She just looked and
Well,
smiled and put it away.
all right. Fair enough. So she goes ahead and ruffles around. She hands you a map, and the this person back here whispers something to her, and she kind of gestures and kind of does a shooing gesture, uh, and and then nods your direction.
Okay, I take the map and very graciously nod my head with a slight bow. It's like, thank you, goodbye. Wave my hand. As I get around the corner, I would like to unroll the map and make sure it's a map.
All right, you unroll it. It isn't as detailed as you would like, but it definitely is a map. And then the map I'll give you next session once I make a less detailed version of the map.
Okay.
It'd be funny if it's just like a laundry list or something. Grocery list.
No, it's actually a map. It's a drawing of map stuff.
I
She
know,
didn't give
I
me a.
know what it is that you have the map. It'd just be funny if you also were conned and were given like an old grocery list or something.
Yeah, that was funny. I honestly thought it wasn't going to work because I was beginning to think that whenever we cast a spell and that their eyes glow blue, that they know we're casting a spell. But that still worked. Just out of curiosity, as I'm walking back around this rock, can I sense if this is another place of power rock tower?
No, I mean you're not sensing any specific arcane energy. So whatever process is making the veins glow slightly is the same as those other rocks, like these
All
and
right.
the ones you saw to the south.
Okay. Coming up here with a proud look on my face, I unroll this less than detailed map, and I'll go ahead and show it to her and ask if she could. Can you ask her if she can point out where we are and where Siphon is and the city of Erminik? If she is able to do that.
All right. Chimes all that information to her. point all these things out if she could on this map.
Okay, so she points at where you are, which is in the southern part of the map, a bit off center. Um, she points at Siphon, which there seems to be a bunch of ridges that come up to kind of like a plateau where Siphon is, right in the center, and then she kind of makes a circle around the whole map and says Erminig.
Yes, I get that. This whole place is Erminig, but there's a city specifically mentioned. Siphon is in the center of the city of Erminig, not the land of Erminig. There's a very specific difference in the information I am having here.
Does Darcy say that?
Yep. He's like, we're looking for the city.
She shakes her head. She circles around the whole thing and says Erminig and points at Siphon and says Siphon.
Okay. I am now going to take the map, lying it flat, and rotate it. Actually, I take that back. When we were on the boat, and it was basically nothing because we can't see the water. It was literally just a little bubble of light in the darkness we were bobbing around on.
Yeah.
Was there any way I had to tell any sort of direction? I mean, anything that any way? How was I navigating? Was there like
the way
echo
you were
sounds
navigating
coming
was
back from
simply
us?
trying to go in a straight line. That's why it was so hard.
We just followed where the crab pointed.
So yeah, you were
Okay.
just trying to not deviate too far, not curve, and try to go in as straight a line as possible, and that's why the DCs are so high.
Alrighty. In that case, I'm going to lay the map flat, and I'm going to very slowly spin it until I believe it's lined up with where we're actually standing, north, south, east, and west. And I'm going to is this correct?
She looks at it and she basically she points at where you are now. She points at
No, I'm getting a map
Siphon.
orientation.
And
I'm getting a map orientation. Oh, sorry.
yeah, the impression you're getting is that north is up on the map.
Okay.
Just
So
roll northeast, south, and west on it, and then you'll know.
that's what I'm going to do. I want to get an actual
Yeah, so it turns out that when you left the steeps, you were going mostly north. You know, then you were going west a bit. I mean, you went west too far and all that, but that was north, and that's up on the map.
So now that the map is properly aligned with the actual physical island and the seas around it, I'm up in the top corner going to go ahead and draw a little north, south, east, west compass for my own personal edification, and then I'm going to mark on the map if I have to, or if I can just make a little dot to denote the sides or edges of the island and where our boat is parked. That way, once we get back to the boat, I will be able to point, okay, it must be exactly this direction, and that way we'll be able to go there.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I believe this will be sufficient to get us where we're going with a little more certainty.
Uh-oh.
All right. So, okay, I'll pass another some more time. So yeah, you guys. So yeah, it's been quite a while since you saw Cyclonid last, and yeah, you've made a kind of circle around the island. You haven't crawled up the cliffs and stuff yet. She did point out the island, or you did. Got pointed out this direction over this direction with the people earlier. So, what is your next move?
Hello.
Yes.
There we go. Sorry, I'd fallen off the call. I was having a hard time reconnecting.
Okay.
So where were we? Oh yeah, I've gotten everything I need. I believe we can, with much more certainty, guide ourselves on the in this place.
Um, you know what? Friendly lady has been very friendly. Um, is your well, better yet, do your people live nearby? And she's
She,
going to gesture at the map.
yeah, she points uh, at least, sorry, she points to a city. Let me get the name of the city for you real quick, because it'll be on the map. Yeah, so she points to the city of Hetaskin. And you can tell it's not quite what you'd call close exactly, but it's not too far away. You don't really have a scale on the map, so it's hard to tell with it tell distances. Um, but it's definitely farther to get there, um, or it'd be farther to get there than it would be to get to Siphon.
Okay. I'm gonna see if she has to say anything different about her own people. Um, are we allowed there?
She shakes her head. She
Is it
she
because we are
points.
outsiders?
She nods.
Okay. All right. Well, at least they aren't lying about that.
She starts to talk and then shakes her head and shrugs.
Here we go again. You know what? Another sending. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that if you have a powerful sponsor, then you would be allowed among our people. But you must do something grand in order to gain a sponsor.
Interesting.
Who could sponsor us?
Uh,
You?
okay. Did you want me to use my sendings for that, or you can go ahead, or whatever, however?
Well, you don't know what she said.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. I'll shut up. We are godlings. Maybe we could be our own sponsor. It depends on what a sponsor is.
Right. Basically, she will tell Judge, like, we're not allowed there unless we have a sponsor, but we have to do something grand in order to get a sponsor.
Okay. Um, I'll go ahead and use a sending of mine. I'll burn a spell slot here.
Okay.
Does a sponsor need to be of your peoples, or can a sponsor be any powerful person or creature?
It must be one of our people.
Ask her if she can be one of our sponsors.
Um, I just gesture. Can you?
She shakes
You
her
know,
head.
it's an obvious gesture.
She points.
Oh,
She shakes her head and points at the ground.
okay, you're too low. She's too. Yeah, she is not of high enough power. All right.
Then how would we get a sponsor if we can't probably talk to anyone or get to a place where we could talk to someone higher?
Oh, yes, I know. I'll send to her. Can you write a letter to a person who can sponsor us if we show you some great power?
No, but if you meet one of us in Siphon and show them and help them take back the city. They will do it.
Ah, gotcha. I understand. Thank you. Either way, we must get to Siphon on our own. The map should be enough. Thank you. And I sincerely hope that those people around the corner will not be attacking and causing you problem.
She nods.
Do you wish do you wish for our assistance with them?
Are you sending again?
Miss Darcy, can you just chime this?
Yep,
Uh,
I
does
can chime it.
does she wish? Would she appreciate our assistance in dealing with those three peoples around the corner? Are they going to be causing you
I
harm?
don't know. It's probably not. It seems like it's just an open competition of mining.
I'm just checking. She is all by herself. I do not want to leave her alone and, to fall prey to three unpleasant people.
She already said that they're not allowed to do anything to her, but they can do stuff to us. So she's not in danger. We are.
Okay.
But
All
we
right.
could ask if she needs help with anything in general.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Do you need any help from us?
She thinks for a moment. Mm. She shakes her head.
All right. Well, I suppose we can say thank you very much and get back to the boat. We have a map. There is a lot more of this place. I think might be helpful to look around, but
Well, we
How-
can.
For
how
now, we
about
can
we-
at least stop by the boat and update Cyclonin.
okay.
So
'Cause
what I
after that,
say
I
is,
do
for now,
want to
you
get
guys
up
go
these
to the boat,
cliffs.
and once you have your conversation with Cyclonin, we'll go ahead and end it for the session.
All right. We'll come up to the boat. As we're walking up to the boat, do we see that Cyclonin is rather visibly lashed to the boat again?
I'm gonna go ahead and teleport you guys to make it easy.
Yeah, it's a longer tether, but he is tied to the rope or the boat in two places.
As Judge walks up, he's going to go, Cyclonin, brother, and just gently, caring
Oh,
as
and
a
he
friend.
is drinking from his mug.
All right. Judge is going to come up to Cyclonin, brother, and he is going to put his arm, very caringly as a friend around the shoulder here. Does this place unnerve you such? This seems it seems a bit much on the outside to be responding. Is there something more you feel about this place that unnerves you?
What are you talking about?
You are lashed to the boat. We are here on land. I'm just concerned. I'm curious. I want to know how you feel. I'm allowed to care.
It's no big deal. I suppose I could push the boat away from the shore. It is the only thing that allows us to escape from this place.
Well, yes, but tying the boat to the rock right there would be plenty enough to keep it in place. Or we can just pull it to shore. Tying you to the boat and then you to the land is... It was an unusual choice. I was just checking.
I am
Here.
exercising caution.
Okay. Well, there are peoples on this boat, or on this island. We were able to communicate in a fashion, though actual communication is extremely difficult. There's a little more on this island that I'd like to explore and look around at, just to let you know. I can assume you would not wish to come with us to explore the rest of the island a little bit, or how are you feeling here, Henry? And you just kind of fill him in on all the happenings. Oh, we did find a place of power. It was some very unique stones. I did investigate quite thoroughly, and have some information, but not enough to piece together any answers yet.
This island had the city we're looking for.
Pull out the map and it's like, we are apparently here on this little island. I now have some better compass marks, so we do not have to rely on the directions of a crab. And we should be able to go this way, and I show him the little plot line and everything.
It's so funny when you say it that way. We don't have to rely on the directions of a crab.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's so funny.
Yeah, well,
You know those
unfortunately, that's
crabs, they're real bad with their directions.
There are no stars, there is no sky, there is no water. We are literally just on this level plane of memory. And so even cardinal directions are very, very, very difficult. I'm doing my best.
I don't know about that. So how do you know which of these directions pointing in the real world is north?
Oh, simple. I turn the map. All right, you know how when you're playing a video game and you have the map in front of you and then you've got your little battle map above you? And you can turn in the real world and it will align you to your little battle map. That's what I'm literally doing. I'm going to take the map and I'm going to turn it so that this island lines up with the directions it is. The boat is parked on the correct side and everything like that. And so I go, okay, I line this up like this. This is the north, this is the south, this is the east, this is the west. And then I stand up and literally point in the proper direction. This is the direction we must go. These are the only waypoints I have right now. I am using azimuth navigating because there's no other stars, no other landmarks. This is the best we can do, is the orientation of the land and the orientation of the map, which is better
Looking
than
at
we had
this-
when we started and less than what you were offering earlier.
Looking at the map, looking at the surroundings, like what's the fidelity? Like, can I actually recognize that the map is oriented correctly?
The fidelity of the islands is fairly low. They are on the map. One thing that is helpful is that it does show where the steeps are, um, and it kind of shows where the walls are that you ran into. And one thing it does show as well that apparently to the north of here is a giant waterfall or something like that. It's hard to tell exactly, but some water comes out of the sky and it's marked on the map. So theoretically, if you run into the waterfall, then you know you're going in the right direction, or at least going in the northern direction.
But as far as, I mean, but the map, I mean,
Although one thing that's interesting is the map shows two islands in the area that is marked as you're here. Um, one island to the left, and then one island to the right that's somewhat a little bit north. You've obviously only seen one of those islands.
I mean, I guess the thing I'm getting at is that is there actually enough detail that I can actually be sure this map is in fact oriented the proper direction?
He's second guessing me. He thinks I did something wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead and give me a survival check. You're pretty sure that north on the map, marked on the map, is actually north in the real world.
Okay, so these does seem to be accurate then.
Well,
All right, so
how
yeah,
do we?
So what we'll go ahead and
Taking another drink.
fair enough. What we'll go ahead and do then is we'll go ahead and end here with you guys at the boat. It's about 1:30 in the morning for you. Um, you do notice that the people here are wide awake, so either they probably have a different sleep schedule. Of course, there's no sun or anything, so that's probably not too surprising. And then yeah, next session we'll go ahead and start up where we are now with Conglomerate still on the boat.